Welcome back to Let's Play MTG Forge. I'm Yas Kodo. We're back. I think I'd like to start with a little deck tech. Top Hopic is still rocking the Orzhov Life Gain, Life Drain deck, but I've made some updates. We're no longer running Grey Merchant of Asphodel, which some people might really hate on me for. Obviously, Grey Merchant is a really, really good card for the deck, but the reality is we have so many better white cards that we can be playing on curve, and the best black cards for our deck don't add a ton of devotion. Cards like Marauding Blight Priest, Elegy, Acolyte, and Obsidat are honestly like we're splashing black pretty hard just to be able to play these two. So also trying to guarantee that we have the payoff with Grey Merchant was just too much. So here's the list. We've got Blood Artist, which is just good, like, assurance. It's, like, situationally good. We don't have any sack outlets to turn it into a consistent win condition, but it's still pretty strong. Voice of the Blessed is crazy. This card is like an Ajani's Pridemate on steroids. It gets a +1/+1 counter every time we gain life, and it's able to get up to being really big, really fast. And at 4 counters, it gets Flying and Vigilance. Sometimes we can get it to 10 counters to give it Indestructible, but we can pretty consistently give it Flying and Vigilance and make it a really serious game-winning threat. And Bishop of Wings, we have just enough of a critical mass of angels in our deck to be able to get something out of this, and it's just a decent body on the ground that can gain us life, which we have lots of payoffs for, including Valkyrie Harbinger. It lets us trigger Valkyrie Harbinger the turn we play it if Bishop of Wings is in play. So for that alone, like, because that is just such a powerful combo, we're playing it. Life Creed Duo, basically a worse Soul Sister, but we don't have any of the classic Soul Sisters. This is just a classic, whenever you play a creature, you gain 1 life. Suture Priest, also kind of like a Soul Sister light, gaining us life whenever we play a creature, and also dealing some damage, which can help us get some reach over the course of a game. Phyrexian Missionary is just a really solid body. A 2-mana 2/3 with lifelink is exactly the kind of thing we want to be playing on turn 2, and having the additional flexibility of being able to revive a creature, recur it later, is really useful. And then Luminant Aspirant is just such a great card, and it happens to be a cleric, which is important for Righteous Valkyrie, which we're playing 2 copies of. This is probably our best card in our collection right now, and having 2 of them is incredible. They grow our board massively once we get our life high enough, and they help us get there by gaining us life really fast. We have enough clerics and angels in the deck to consistently gain life off of it. Marauding Blight Priest, partially a win condition. I'm playing 2 because we're not playing Grey Merchant. We need something to threaten our life total, so with the combination of these 2, the Suture Priest and the Blood Artist, we can put some pressure in early on. And then Moonrise Cleric is just a decent-sized body that also gains us life, which is what we want to be doing, triggering our Voice of the Blessed and all that. Elegy Acolyte is our big, like, mid-game to late-game engine that can help us stabilize and help us draw into removal spells or more gas. It can spit out robots for us, which is nice. And then Elishnorn is kind of a funky card. I haven't gotten the chance to really use this card a ton, but I'm pretty confident that this is the right kind of card for what our deck is trying to do. It's not a cleric, it's not an angel, but it's a 3/5 vigilance for 4, which is a good body, and it prevents all damage that's dealt to us unless our opponent pays life for that damage. And that can be really, I think that can be really taxing on our opponents and can serve as like a more powerful version of what Suture Priest and Blood Artist are doing. And then having the ability to then like cash it in for the etchings, which let me just flip the card so we can see it. The Argent Etchings also basically just reads win the game. Like we uh, uh, create a huge board state. Like it gives us back the value that we sacrifice for sacrificing other creatures by just putting 10 power on the board right away. And then if we don't win from that, chapter 2 or chapter 3 is gonna do it. So I like having that like real late game like inevitability. Like if we get stalled out, as long as we have this card and enough creatures to feed it, we can win the game. Obsidat also helps us stabilize, helps us pressure the enemy life total. Also, I just think it's a fun card. Maybe it's not good enough to be playing, but I like the card. Maybe we should be playing Grey Merchant instead, but I like that. I like this one. And then Valkyrie Harbinger is another big finisher to just give us a big army. I'm also like a little bit dubious on this card, but I think it's good enough for now. And then we're playing all of our best removal spells, Swords to Plowshares and Cast Down, as well as Recumbent Bliss, which isn't a great removal spell, but in our deck, it triggers every turn. Like, it gives us life every turn, which triggers cards like Voice of the Blessed, Marauding Blight Priest, uh, and all that. So, oh yeah, and then Lunar Convocation is also like a card draw engine, and can kind of double as an extra like Marauding Blight Priest effect, draining our opponent's life, sometimes giving us bats, sometimes drawing us cards. Without further ado, let's get out on this mission. I'm just going to fight the first enemy I see just to kind of get warmed up with playing this deck. Okay, and also forgive me, I have not been checking the chat if anyone's been chatting. I just started stream, so I'm guessing it's still empty in here. Yeah, no, not quite yet. But hello, YouTube, to those of you who are watching the uploads. I just snap kept that without really looking. And I'm already kind of regretting it looking at it, but I can play the Luminarch Aspirant. Giver of Runes is pretty scary because it kind of turns off our Swords to Plowshares. Debating whether I should kill it or try and just wait till I can put enough pressure on them. No, I think I do have to kill it now. This could be a huge misplay, and it's kind of a gamble on my part. Yeah, it would be nice to have swords for this, but if they had Giver of Runes still in play, it just doesn't really do much for us. Let's play out the Aspirant. They're going to start drawing cards. It now has lifelink from Rune of Sustenance. And it gets +2/+2 for each aura. So they have a little bit of a value engine and a clock. But you know what? They're not the only ones who can do things here. I'm going to start out with the Righteous Valkyrie, hoping that I draw a land next turn. They could end up growing their Spirit Dancer to a 4/5 or even larger. Let's grow the Valkyrie just in case they have another aura that doesn't increase power and toughness intrinsically. Exactly like that. So they are going to gain life from this, going to 35, but we take no damage, which is important. A second Righteous Valkyrie isn't actually terrible. We gain some life. We go to combat. Now do I grow the other one? I think so. I think we have to play to our outs here, and our out is that we might be able to accrue a faster clock than our opponent can gain life here. We're sort of hoping that they run out of gas. even though that's not, like, necessarily super likely. I could play the priest here to gain one, but that doesn't really do much for me, as I need to get to 17 to get the big board buff. So instead of playing out the Suture Priest, I'm just going to play out the Locket here and play Shadowy Backstreet. Okay. Yeah, I'm not thrilled about drawing into a tap land, but this works. Grow that angel. I guess we'll attack with these two. If they buff their Spirit Dancer again... Oh, they don't. Do they have a combat trick? No, they don't. They're just looking to gain life. And there's Giver of Runes. A problematic card for sure, is now they can make their Spirit Dancer unblockable. I think I just play out Obsidat. And now that it is potentially unblockable, I guess I just go all out. Bring them down to 20. And yeah, there's no point in keeping this around. Ooh, Sword of the Paran? No, Sword of the Realms. So we go to 8. They go to 26. Obsidat comes back down. Man. Couldn't find another removal effect. Now feeling like maybe this deck needs... Maybe I need to add more removal, even if it's kind of mid. Even if it's kind of Middington. But I think more importantly, I play the Harbinger here. In fact, oh yeah, I have 2 triggers off of this going to 20. Everything gets buffed twice. Do we have enough to win here is the question. We'll find out by just turning everything sideways and seeing how it goes. Opponent drops to 1. That's too bad. Yes, I will blink the Obsidat, and I'll make an 8/8 token going to 36. Opponent plays Rune of Flight. They don't attack, though. Even though they have lifelink and vigilance, it seems to me like they should have there, and they die because of that misplay, because they couldn't see the Obsidat attack coming, and or just some kind of like lifelink related miscalculation. Core Spirit Dancer is a really cool card. I'm happy to add that to my collection. Yeah, let's see. Narset's Reversal, it might be good. Spirit Dancer might be good. Canopy Vista, I'm not really in a position to turn down, like, fixing. Blasphemous Edict. You may pay 1 black rather than pay the spell's mana cost if there are 13 or more creatures on the battlefield, and each player sacrifices 13 creatures of their choice. I don't think that's a card that we want to be playing, but I could be wrong. And then yeah, even in a Goblin deck, I'm not going to be playing that. Oh, Sonnepetal Grove is actually good. And then the rest of these, I guess there is like a Rune Dwarf that we could find to build like a Rune deck, but these lands are not really good enough, I think. Endless Evil. 2 and a blue enchant creature you control. At the beginning of your, create a copy of it. Huh. Doesn't seem super good, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, this like Donovan quest keeps bugging and I'm seeing like dialogue where I'm not supposed to. A good first game. I am gonna walk past other enemies from here on out. As shoot, hang on. I am just gonna also pull up the chat on my phone so that I don't miss anything. If people chime in, if Updog wants to come in here. Where's my Gosh, my desk is such a mess. Do y'all keep your desk in a state of mess the way that I do? I feel like I have a system. It's a bad system, but it's a system. And it's better than no system, right? On our way to the caravan. I've been reading a lot of Boruto lately. Don't know how many Magic gamers are into Naruto, but I used to read Naruto a lot as a kid. And for the first time this week, I just started like binge reading Boruto, and I just finished it. Like I'm now caught up to the latest chapter that I think came out in August. And I think it's pretty good. I felt like I was reading it just because I was like curious if it was like as cringe as I thought it was going to be, or like as cringe as I remembered being when it first came out, and I kind of half paid attention to it. I remember being kind of annoyed by its very existence, like Boruto. Like they're really gonna follow up Naruto with a sequel series called Boruto. Like I'm Boruto listening to that shit. Like I don't know, it felt like the story of Naruto was definitely over, but I was surprised. I thought that it was pretty good. It was better than I thought it was going to be, I guess. Is like the best way of putting it. Would Top Hopic read Naruto? Totally. I feel like she's like so, like her dream would be to be like a member of the Akatsuki. Like she was like very much like an Itachi fangirl. Oh shit, an Eldrazi. Oh, I do want to fight it before it despawns. These enemies are rare, and also it might kick my ass. So this could really backfire. But these enemies are rare and they drop good shit. Or they might drop Eldrazi, and Eldrazi happen to be there happen to be a lot of broken Eldrazi cards in Magic the Gathering. This is a super mid hand. I'm gonna keep it though because I can play lands and cast spells. It's just very slow. Carrier Thrall is pretty annoying. I don't want to trade for that with my Blight Priest. Maybe I'll play out my Locket first and then play Obsidat next turn. Yeah, just take my beats here. They play another Carrier Thrall. Yeah, I think that was the right call. Let's just bring him in. And let's not blink him yet. Just fully stabilize here. Locket number 2. Marauding Blight Priest, tap land. I could attack here. I could attack here and maybe they probably just take 5, but then they hit me for 4 on my turn. No, I think I need to, I'm still at 10 life. I can't get cocky quite yet. Silent Skimmer. That's the kind of card that like we don't want to see from our opponent. But that's okay, because Carrot Cake was a good draw here. I'm totally happy to draw Luminarch Aspirant. And now I feel totally fine attacking And blinking Warping Whale on my token. That's interesting. And they don't attack with the skimmer. Well, I didn't want to crack it this early, but I'll crack the carrot cake, again keeping that on top, draining them for 1, and I'll trade like this, so it feels a little bit less terrible. I do need to preserve my life a little bit. Warden of Geometries, that's some ramp for them. If they play something really scary here, that could be really bad. That's kind of why I'm trying to save my cast down. Hopefully if they do play like a big Eldrazi of some kind, it doesn't have indestructible and it's not like a Titan, it's not a legendary. I think that's my best hope for winning here. Move to combat, buff the Blight Priest, and then I can attack like this. Yeah, I feel good about this. We're close to actually having a clock here. Ugh, Corpse Hatch. That's pretty annoying. Yeah, like do I kill the skimmer before it can attack me? I think I have to kill... I think I have to kill the Warden of Geometries here. So they can attack me, deal 4... Or I guess just 2. How come this didn't drain me for anything? Or did it and I missed it? I don't know. Well, we have them actually pretty close to dead here. They're forced to chump block like that. I'll play out the Righteous Valkyrie and go ahead and crack this so I can play my land. Yeah, and pass, and we'll blink that away. Ooh, Wasteland Strangler. That's pretty cute here, actually. Wait. Oh, and they... Did they process? Wow! They processed my Obsidat. That's a pretty significant play there. Good shit on the part of my opponent. They were lucky that I had a way of putting cards in exile, because I don't think they have anything in their deck that... I haven't seen them play anything that can do that. I know there's a whole bunch that can. Okay. I can get in... No, but I can't get in. They've got a blocker. I could kill it, but that's only a 3-turn clock. Ugh. Grr. They have 2 cards in hand. I feel like I don't have much of a choice. At least they don't gain any life from swords. So they've got 2 turns to figure out what to do about me. I could block with Blood Artist, but it wouldn't... No, okay. Lunar Convocation is an interesting draw here. I will pay life. That didn't work out too well. Do I go for it again? No, I can't. Shoot. I might have just thrown away my chances of winning. There's Zulodok. The exact kind of opposite of sort of what we want to be seeing here. The Silent Skimmer is especially annoying, but... You know what? This will give us a bat, which can block And that's something. Yes, okay. Voice of the Blessed, huge draw here. They lose life. Now if any two creatures die, we win the game. And we're going to make a bat here too. And they're at 1. So now if any one creature dies, they're not in any position to attack me now. Yes, okay. This could end up being a huge W. I'm really hoping that they drop something good here. There's Elishnorn. Unfortunately not a cleric. And oh, but we can use her ability to sacrifice creatures to make them lose life. And just like that, we win. Okay, let's see what we got. Yes! Sweet baby Jesus. That's exactly what we want. Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. That's one of the best Eldrazi that we can get. Endbringer is also really good. Wasteland Strangler is fine, I guess. Bearer of Silence, I don't believe in this card either. I feel like we don't really want... Well, maybe we're not in a position to really sell these. Carrier Thrall also has some potential for like an aristocrat style deck. Yeah, I don't think we throw any of these away. Because if we end up beating more Eldrazi in the future, we could get more synergy cards. Cards like Eldrazi Temple, which make even mediocre Eldrazi worth playing sometimes. But back to our mission. That's an angel. Yeah, we're going way off script. But I don't think we can turn down an opportunity to win more angel cards, considering we have a little bit of like an angel theme going on in our deck. And a bat theme. The bat meme goes strong. Ooh. I hate having to put Elegy Acolyte in my graveyard, but sometimes you gots to do what you gots to do. Play the Aspirant. Such a strong turn 2 card. The fact that it's a cleric is also great. Angel of Unity. Now that's an annoying ass magic card right there. If I've ever seen an annoying card, that would be it. Now what to play here? I could Swords it, but like they've already perma-buffed one of the cards in their hand, so maybe that's not worth it. In fact, yeah, let me just like bait this trade. Yeah, they don't take it. And I'll play out Life Creed Duo. This can block and also give me life later. They attack just to gain life, which is kind of a... Oh, fuck, I forgot to... Shoot, okay, wait. How do I sequence this? I float a black, play the Orzhov Basilica, respond to it with Fabled Passage, find a Plains, enters untapped, then bounce the tapped swamp to my hand. I've got 1 black floating. Now I play out the Valkyrie. Phew. Not punished for my misplay. You love to see it. I'll buff the duo, sending these into the red zone. They attack back again to try and gain some life back. And let's see. No other play? They've got 5 cards in hand, 5 lands in play, and they had nothing? Could my opponent be playing an instant? Sometimes the bots do play instants, y'all. Sometimes they actually do try to fuck with you. Okay. Locket. Blight Priest. Gain 1, drain 1, gain 1, drain 1. I'll buff this. Get in for 8 and pass. And let's see what my opponent has here. They don't have enough, so they just equip it to that. Well, feels like this game is basically over. I'm just trying to see if I'm missing something here. But I don't think so. Swords. Attack. With everything. GG's. And let's see if we got any angels. Come on. I smell angels. I smell angels. Brrr. Gyata. That one's actually pretty good. Emancipation Angel, unfortunately, we can't really play. Guide of Souls. Oh, but it's nerfed Guide of Souls. Boo. I think it's still worth playing, though. It's basically a Soul Sister with upside for just 1. And then Lightstall Inquisitor is also not bad. Oh, and what is this? Wow, maybe I'm playing all 4 of these. That's great, actually. That was so unbelievably worth it right there. Yeah, even the nerfed version of Guide of Souls is good. And then, I don't know about Lightstall Inquisitor. It is an angel. Gyata 100%. Just the possibility that it might ramp me. I think it can take the place of one of these lockets. Seeing as it costs less, and I don't always need the lockets anyway, and it buffs my other angels too, which is nice. And then the Metropolis Reformer seems like a great little bit of, like, wait, should I be playing Blade Splicer? Nah. Wait, it's not a cleric, is it? No. And then, what do I cut? I feel like... I feel like Bishop of Wings is kind of in mid territory. Then again, we just added more angels, so I feel like that's not the right thing to cut now. Maybe I cut Moonrise Cleric. What else? Cutting Blood Artist does not feel right. Valkyrie Harbinger, like, we usually have a hard time casting that, but we're not losing any of our angel ramp. Ugh. Okay, you know what? Because we have so many tap lands, I'm just not going to play the Lightstall Inquisitor yet. I don't think we're there yet. And... I really don't want to cut a removal spell. Feels like I should be cutting a 2-drop. But these are all pretty good cards that I don't want to cut. Even like Elishnorn kind of low-key helped us win that last game. Blood Artist helped us win the game before, so I don't really want to cut that. Aspirant has been like a house every time. Phyrexian Missionary... Maybe Suture Priest? Life Creed Duo seems too good to cut as well. Okay, it doesn't feel good at all, but I'm gonna try running this without Blood Artist. And if I get hard punished for that, then that's on me. On to the mission. Yeah, but I've been reading Boruto recently. I don't think it's anywhere near as good as One Piece, which I think has got to be my favorite shonen anime around right now. Oh, but should I go in here first? Wait, I'm just gonna stop and shop for a quick minute. Quick stop and shop. Just because I did just get a bunch of money. Nah. Oh. Uh. Hmm. Yeah, no. Just skipping right past slivers. That's a, I mean, that's a really good card. This is like a, oh, even better though is this. Um, oh man, that's just such a strong card. It's not really like great in our deck necessarily, but maybe we play it instead of Obsidat? It's just like a one card army. Yeah, I'm gonna take a big swing with this one actually. I'm gonna take a big swing with this one. This is our first Planeswalker, and I think a pretty solid one to start out with. I know it was naughty for me to not look at all the shops before making a decision, but I don't want to take forever here. I want to get to the games, and I just trust that that card is good. Maybe its lack of synergy will end up hard punishing me, but I have a feeling that it won't. Call it a hunch. I'll play, and I'll keep this. I've got a turn 2 play, and ooh, and a better turn 2 play, and plenty of lands. Play that out. They play a Johnny's Welcome, so this is maybe a mirror match of some sort. Let's play out the Valkyrie. Get in for 2. No turn 3 play from our opponent, which is nice to see. Let's play out the Suture Priest. Buff that. Play a land. Lunar Convocation. Get in for 5. End step. Drain them for 1. Opponent still has nothing but that a Johnny's Welcome, which is not doing them any favors. Sadly, that tap land means I can't cast the Storm Slayer this turn. I could, let's see, I haven't gained life this turn, unfortunately. I could maybe draw a way of gaining life, though. Not quite. That's okay. Buff the entire team, swing in for the dub. I think that was Exactsies, but I didn't even count to check. Knight of Autumn is cool. Electropotence is just a worse version of Warstorm Surge. I don't think I'm interested in that, but it'll get us a pretty penny. Knight of Autumn, I think, is quite good. Silver. Regular, mundane, unsmithed chunks of silver ore. That's all you find in the majority of the crates stashed away in the cave. Not having the tools or knowledge to mint the weighty metal into currency, and knowing that someone still living may have a rightful claim to it, you leave it behind. And as you have no further leads on the much more valuable shipment you are looking for, you should return to New Avalon and report in. Psh, not before I rob this place. Not before I collect all this. Oh, wow, dude. Way to take the wind out of my sails, game. That's crazy. That's actually nuts. Dude. Like, I want to be happy about it, but do I need 2 copies of this card? What is this? Rodolph Duskbringer? 6 mana 4/4 flying, death touch, lifelink. I like all those keywords. Whenever you gain life, Rodolph gains indestructible until end of turn. And at the beginning of your end step, you may pay 2 mana. When you do, return target creature card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of life you've gained this turn. Is it better than our other 6 mana angel? I'm honestly not sure. I could always try it and just see how it goes. The second Elspeth is really goofy. Like, I really just don't know what to make of that. But this I can try. I'll just try playing Rodolph instead and see if I like that. I feel like having... I feel like the other 6-drop angel, whatever she's called, it seems like she's a more consistent win condition. But with this game, I think trial and error is so important. Like, you just gotta try stuff and see what sticks. You never know what the enemy's gonna get up to. Oh yeah, did I get the teleporter? No, I didn't. I only got it for the black region. Silly me. I could also definitely sell a bunch of cards now. And buy more stuff, but it occurred to me that we can sort of hoard money by hanging on to a bunch of valuable cards. Because we don't lose cards when we lose games, luckily. Although, if y'all want to see, like, anti-gameplay, let me know. There might be an option somewhere. I'm pretty sure original Chandelar had an anti-system, so you would, like, lose cards from your collection anytime that you lost a game, which is brutal. Like, that is messed up, especially in a game like this where, like, you never know where things are going to drop. There's another angel enemy. I feel like I have to fight these, like, on site every time, because they've just been consistently dropping really good stuff. We kind of have them to thank for most of our deck. We have to mulligan the one-lander. And I guess I'll bottom... Fabled Passage? Yeah. Play the tap land and pass. Yeah, like, Lightstall Inquisitor would have been good if we didn't rely on tap land so much. They played the Valkyrie Sword, and, whoa, they played Finale of Glory, X's of 1. So they made a 1/2/2 soldier. I drained them for 1. That's really not that much of a concern. I'll play a land and cast the Valkyrie, gain 1, and pass. Okay, so they make their soldier a big beefy dude. And they have a 3-turn clock on us, which is really annoying. And I don't have a way of dealing with I don't have a way of dealing with that equipment. I want to play Elegy Acolyte here, which can at least trade. And I can gain some life here. I could also get in for 2. I mean, winning from damage is our win condition. We do lose 1 life, which is a little risky, but maybe that can get us closer to... I played another idyllic Grange, dude. Of course they did. And they play this to gain life. Ugh. Okay. This angel is putting up a pretty good fight. And I don't like where this is going. I'm going to be forced to... Oh my god, another one, dude. That's actually crazy. Well, I have to block like this. I go to 9 and lose my Elegy Acolyte. They re-equip to their angel. They've got a Speaker of the Heavens. Huh. Okay. Okay. I can trade again. I gained life there, so I can also pay life here to make a bat and draw. Yeah, I think that's the right call. And then I have decently good blocks here. Yeah. Which opponent recognizes, plays Angelic Cub. Interesting. So they can equip this to that to make it bigger, and once it gets big enough, it gets flying. Okay, well, here's the moment of truth for Rodolph Duskbringer. Actually doesn't seem too bad in this situation. Oh, come on. Did they just remove it? Ugh. Yeah, they just turned it into an angel, but now all my creatures are buffed. And I'm going to deal a ton of damage to them with Marauding Blight Priest. Yeah, okay, well, even though they exiled Rodolph the moment it came down, they did give me... They just made me gain even more life. Now I'm, like, way above the threshold for Righteous Valkyrie. They only have 1 flying blocker. All of these are coming in for lethal damage. GG. Nice. I was actually a little bit worried there for a moment. Angel of Finality, eh. Resolute Archangel. Yeah, also not great. I might actually just sell this one. Angel of Finality... I mean, it's a 4-mana, 3/4 flyer, so... Like... Maybe it's actually good. There's just not, like, a ton of graveyard strategies. There definitely are some. But I don't find myself needing sideboard graveyard hate. There's no, like, Hogak, bridge from below nonsense, at least that I've seen in this game so far. But maybe other people have encountered that. I've just found effects like that to be mostly useless. Wait, but speaking of mostly useless, should we be playing more removal? And if so, like, what should we be playing? Seam Rip, maybe? It can hit those, like, small equipment that we keep getting battered by. It's just so limited in its range of what it can hit. Mesmeric Fiend can, like, exile something from their hand, which is nice. Hmm. And there's, like, Banishing Light, which is, I think, it's maybe worth playing over the Locket. I feel like my curve doesn't really need the Locket anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna try it that way, because I think last game, like, when I had the Locket, I wished that it was a removal spell instead. And Banishing Light is expensive, but at least it can hit practically anything. Like, I would still consider it a premium removal spell. This bird is on my ass! Get away from me, bird! I don't want to fight you! Oh my god, they're everywhere! Oh, thank goodness it despawned. That thing is fast. Here comes another one, damn. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. After you explain what you found and what you didn't find, Sir Donovan hands you a pouch of coins that are most certainly spendable. You didn't find anything, but that doesn't mean you put in no effort on my behalf. Then he pulls out a map of a... Oh, he gives us 500 gold, yay. Then he pulls out a map of a completely different area in a mountainous region to the southwest. We should go back a step and make sure the shipment left the mines to begin with. Sir Donovan continues, you need not return here with your findings unless escorting the caravan. While my venture ultimately depends on having these shards, I have preparations to make elsewhere. Use this amulet once you have more information, and I will be in touch. He hands you a small piece of iron jewelry, after which you nod and depart. Consulting your map, Sir Donovan's directions lead you into the mountains found to the southwest. So this is like the multi-part quest that I was talking about. Sir Donovan. What a great name, Donovan. Donovan! Donovan! Steel Seraph is an angel. It's an angel that can give my other creatures lifelink. Which, I mean... That's pretty good, right? We're like getting more and more all in on angels. Maybe, maybe I'll try it. This is like a decent angel, right? I'll try it. Steel Seraph, let's go. That prototype effect might be useful. Maybe I want to lose the Elishnorn because it's just not on theme. And then maybe I do play like the... Let's see. Yeah, the only option for a 4-drop is Angel of Finality. I do also have Atraxa. I forgot all about the fact that I have Atraxa in my collection. Should I be trying to play that card? Maybe? Hang on. Didn't I? Okay, I had this. Yeah. Oh yeah, this was the Atraxa deck that I built. I almost forgot all about this. I may have done this off stream. I actually can't remember. I don't know. I don't know if I believe in this deck. Let me just try it, though. I did build it. But before I try it, let me just see if there's anything in here that I think makes sense to put in there. I don't... Oh, you know what? Giada, definitely. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Giada, and I can take out... maybe... I'm not sure. Maybe the Subtle Beyond Reality? Then again, I mean, how much ramp do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces of ramp. Well, the other awkward thing is Moira and Teshar, because that's not an angel, so Giada can't ramp into those, but can ramp into a Stelly Reclaimer, which can go fetch a Heaped Harvest or an Orzhov relic that's been sacrificed. But that's all it can get. Huh. And that's the only 5-drop angel I've got. Whereas if I keep Moira and Teshar, I've got this ability of maybe bringing back Atraxa from my graveyard. But I'm not really trying to get it in my graveyard that hard. Like, Seed Ship Broodtender kind of does that. But then again, You know what? I'll just keep Moira and Teshar for now, as I'm just not 100% like a believer in the Reclaimer. I just wonder if I want to be playing like Mesmeric Fiend. Okay, I'm gonna run it like that. Aburuk Bull says, I'd love to join your live streams whenever you're streaming. Add me on Discord, Raba1. Sup, Aburuk Bull. Do you play Magic? Are you into are you into Magic the Gathering, or are you just stopping by to drop your socials? What's up? Having bought that angel, maybe I should reroll before I go on the mission. I do have just a bunch more money sitting in my inventory here, and I also did just buy a bunch of cards here, so this shot might disappear. So I'm just gonna reroll here and see if I... Ooh, now that's what I like to see. Yeah, I'm 100% getting Gisela. So I'm not necessarily interested in trying to find Bruna, the Fading Light, and like melding, but what I am super down for, as well as playing Elspeth, actually. What I'm super down for is having a 4-drop to be able to curve here. And then with that, I feel like I don't need the Springheart Nantuko necessarily. Nor do I need to settle beyond reality. Elspeth, I think, does a good job of kind of substituting that. And with that, let's name this deck Atraxa. Oops, I keep hitting edit when I mean to hit rename. One day I'll learn to not do that. Oh, and I realized, because I didn't do a deck tech for Atraxa, well, let's just test it out on this bird who won't leave us alone. And if it sucks, then maybe I don't try and bring it on this mission, and I go back to my black and white deck. Okay, I will keep this. I've got a turn 1 Gene Pollinator. They play Fearless Fledgling, a 1/1 with landfall. Whenever a land enters, it gets a +1/+1 counter and gains flying until end of turn. That's a pretty strong card. I've never seen that card anywhere. It kind of looks like a fake card. Not saying it's necessarily fake, though. Land. Luminarch Aspirant. And I'll tap this to add green and play Sammy's Curiosity to get a lander token. And then I'll grow the Aspirant. It's really just here to put a little bit of pressure on our opponent. Another... See, this is definitely a real card. I've seen that before. Play the Chapel. My only option here is to just, like, ramp. So I might as well do that. Play the Locket. And then tap this to then sack the lander, grabbing... Oh, wait, why do I have a mountain in here? So I've got 2 white sources, 1 black source, 1 green source. I guess I'll grab a green source. Grow the Aspirant, and then I'm going to take my beats here. Going to 5. I could actually just die right here. I'm going to have to use Swords to Plowshares to try and stabilize. Oh, this only costs 2 mana. For some reason I thought it cost 3. I guess I could have played that instead of activating the lander. I'll play out Leadenmere. Yeah, having nothing with flying in play yet is definitely unfortunate. Yeah, so there. This dude gets bigger, have to kill it, and then take 4, going to 1. Oof, and now they have 2 more flyers, so it looks like it's a... Wait! Oh my god, holy shit. Perfectly... Oh man, that was the perfect draw. Wow. Okay, well, I'll take an Elspeth. I'll take a... Oh, that's awkward. I can't pay life for the Shockland. And all I have left is this mountain, which I don't think I have a single red card in the deck, so that was a mistake. And I guess I'll take the Righteous Valkyrie, a Cast Down, and then the Heaped Harvest, and then I can't play anything else. But I can just grow Atraxa. And I am holding up Cast Down. So... Man, if I can get rid of the enchantment, then I can get rid of both of these. Luckily, they didn't activate that. They could have easily killed my Atraxa. Sweet. So life gain, the Atraxa's lifelink saves me from death there. Awkwardly, Elspeth can't actually kill any of their creatures. And the Valkyrie can't gain me any life either. But I can buff Atraxa and get in for 9, going up to 12. So I can race my opponent here. Play out Elspeth. And make a couple soldiers. And yeah, let's see if my opponent can win now. No. Yeah, the power of Atraxa. That was the perfect Atraxa top deck. But kind of goes to show how relying on something like that can be kind of tricky. So they take 10, I go to 22 here. I'll make 2 more soldiers. And then next turn, I think I just swing in for the kill. Yeah, opponent has no way of stopping me at this point. Get in with the entire team, and it's GG. Okay, well. I got the domain. Oh, I should have sold like all those. I got the domain achievement, so that's pretty cool. I'm just going to go in and like, damn, wait, where are those new cards I just got that are Garbo? I guess I have a lot of garbage cards. You know what? I won't do that right now. I'll sell my cards like off stream because that's just really tedious to watch, I think. Well, we proved that this deck can win, but the question is like, we have to, if we have to get that lucky every time, then is that really that consistent? I do also want to test out this Orzhov deck, which I did just kind of update. Yeah, Atraxa having flying, vigilance, and lifelink, all 3 of those keywords. Like, I would not have been able to win the game if it weren't for all of that. So that's really interesting to see. Maybe I didn't need the vigilance. I didn't do all the math, but it sure felt like it was important. Ooh, almost got caught by this snake baddie. Ooh, another angel. I swear, dude, I'm not hacking the game. Are they this common? Like, I feel like they're spawning like crazy. I'm not on like an angel mission, am I? This is a keep. Play the tap land, say go. Turn to Giada is they play their own Lightstall Inquisitor. I guess Lunar Convocation is the card that I'll drop. Play a Plains, play out Giada. Call to serve. Okay. Well, congratulations. You now have a 3/3. 4. So next turn, no, I won't be close enough next turn, but maybe the turn after. In the meantime, I will just Banishing Light the Inquisitor, get in for 2, and then pass. Dazzling Angel. Just like a really big version of that same kind of Soul Sister effect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So next turn I can cast Rudolph, the red-nosed Pain Bringer, Dusk Bringer. For now, I could just play out. I could play out the Convocation, but I think I'd rather just play Carrot Cake. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, I'm okay with drawing that. So I'll hold off on cracking the Carrot Cake for now. Archangel of Wrath. Ooh. But it's not kicked. It's just a 3/4 with flying and lifelink. They gain 1, they hit me for 2, and then they pass. Well, as much as I'd like to play the Righteous Valkyrie first to gain life, I think I have to play this first. And hope that they don't just remove it. They don't. Yay. I'll play out the Valkyrie. And... oh, okay. Oh, I can give it indestructible at instant speed with Carrot Cake. That's pretty nice. Maybe I can use that to my advantage here. Attack. They block. Or they don't block, they just take it. And then I'll pass. It has to be from my graveyard. There's nothing in there yet. But that's okay. I'll play out Voice of the Blessed, gaining 2 life, which gives that indestructible, and it gets a +1/+1 counter. Move to combat, attack, right? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, attack. Boom, boom. Now this is really huge. All my creatures are mega mongo huge. And I can still keep holding up mana to give Rodolph indestructible. Youthful Valkyrie. Opponent's Angel deck is, I think, outmatched by ours. Move to combat. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoa. Yeah, they can't. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they can't kill either of these. They just have to chump. Voice gets bigger. Pass the turn. This is kind of a foregone conclusion. Unless my opponent has like a Wrath of God. And now I'll just get in with the whole team. Game over. Okay. I have a feeling that even though I'm not running Atraxa in this deck... ooh, yay, another Gyata. Even though I'm not running Atraxa in this deck, I feel like this deck is probably just more consistent. So I'm going to keep running with it. Decree of Justice, I think, is just not good enough of a card anymore. I am going to bin it. Sorry, Decree of Justice fans. The second Gyata, though, is that worth playing? it takes us away from our life gain strategy and into like a more ramp strategy that I don't know if we're like really that all in on. So I need to go pee.